I'm not sure I can tell you anymore. It all happened so fast. The details, they're blurry.
Benji, it's okay. I got the basic information from your captain,
Thomas.
Yes, Captain Thomas. His letter sounded like he knew Kenny, like he really cared for him.
Yeah, it was hard for anyone not to like Kenny.
And he died with a child.
If it makes a difference, you know, they want us to be careful, but when you see the poverty, the kids standing beside the road, you feel like you've got to do something.
I know. It seems a little different that he was trying to help a child than, well, you know. No mother likes to send her son to war.
Well, if it makes a difference, he believed in what we were doing.
What makes a difference to me is that he died doing something that was second nature to him, trying to help someone.
That's true. Miss Carlisle, you seem, well...
You thought you'd find me dressed in black still weeping over my lost son?
No, ma'am. I didn't mean that.
Trust me, Benji. I've shed the tears, and I have faced the sleepless nights and cried myself into some kind of exhausted unconsciousness more times than I care to talk about. I've faced the friends who didn't know what to say and neighbors who didn't know when to shut up. It all hurt. It still hurts. But you know, somehow God's allowed me to find a little peace.
Peace? Your son came home in a box.
Box. Trust me, Benji, I know that phrase. I wept in front of that box. I cried my heart out to God. When the rifle salute went off and the bugler played, I wept all over the flag they handed me. I didn't care who saw me or what they thought. It's just, I don't know, somehow or another, God just showed me. I didn't realize that he was already speaking. I just didn't want to hear what he already had to say.
Well, what did he say?
He showed me the futility of my dreams, the pettiness of my desires, all against the backdrop of his purpose.
Your dreams?
You know, a husband, a house, 2 cars, 2 kids, all the stuff that seems to really seem important until God showed me that Kenny's death did matter, that somehow it had meaning.
See, that's what I can't get my mind around.
I know. I keep this letter and reread it when I'm having one of those weepy moments. I'm about to lose it. It came a week or 2 before. Anyway, he wrote, Mom, the only way anyone over here will ever hear the gospel is to see it lived out before them, even if it's in the life of an American soldier. In this hot, dry desert, Jesus wants me to hand out living water, 1 cup at a time, 1 person at a time. Benji, it may have seemed like a stick of gum or a piece of candy to that little girl, but in the eyes of heaven, it was a small taste of living water.
You know, I'm glad you feel like that. Me, I'm not at that destination yet.
That's all right. I understand. You know, I decided not to direct the children's Christmas music this year. It was a little too...
I think folks will understand.
Yeah, but they didn't have anyone else to teach the children the music, so the pastor chose to do a live nativity scene on the church's front lawn. And yet, here I am making cookies for it. You know what's going to be hard about tonight?
What's that?
Not seeing Kenny somewhere in the scene. Last time he showed up as a cow.
I guess it's okay to tell you now, but I gave him that idea.
Benjamin, you?
At the store, there was a preschool cow flashlight, and when you turned it on, it moved. I couldn't resist.
And every time it moved, the children giggled. Confess to much more, and I won't save you a cookie.
That's all right. I like the dough.
Oh, Benjamin. So did Kenny.
Well, I had to be here tonight.
Benji?
I had to stand in for a buddy who didn't make it back.
Benji, wait.
Why?
If you really want to stand in for Kenny, you need to do a lot more than go charging into a group of children.
Ma'am?
Remember when you and Kenny ran varsity track?
Sure. We were unbeaten in the 4x400 relay.
Every race, what happened?
Kenny'd always run the second leg, and he'd hand the baton off to me.
His part of the race was finished as soon as he gave you the baton.
Right.
But the race wasn't over.
No, I'd have to hand the baton off to the guy running the anchor leg.
Benji, in life, Kenny committed to a very different kind of race. He took up the baton of faith, passed through the centuries from one child of God to the next. He didn't run for long, but I believe he ran with all his heart. If you want to give meaning and